Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of That 12 with me, Tegan. I'm way too enthusiastic today, and I don't know what it is, but I've had a mood switch. I think I've had a bit of a cleanse. I've let go of some things, I've moved on, and now I'm feeling way more positive and better about everything. And that's kind of what I was going to talk about today. I was going to talk about love and how I feel about love and how, well, kind of manifest what I would like for my next love interest or love journey, or I don't even know what to call it. I guess relationship, like my next person in my life, what I would like from that person. And the reason why it kind of come up in my brain was because I was thinking about how I felt about love for a lot of my life, and for the majority of my life, I always thought that I wasn't good enough or it was too difficult to be loved. And it was mainly because of how society kind of create a stigma around people with disabilities, and I was always under the impression that I would be someone's downgrade, or like, I don't even know how to describe it, but I feel like when I see people that are in a relationship with a disabled person, the able-bodied person is always seen as like someone that has either taken pity on that person, or people feel pity for them for being with someone with a disability, which I think is absolutely crazy now that I think about it. But there's definitely a stigma between being in a relationship with someone with a disability and someone who's able-bodied. Or also two people that are disabled, it's almost seen as like, it's like an achievement that they found someone that loved them. And I always struggle with finding that feeling, because to me, it shouldn't feel that way to be in love. So I always kind of had this mindset of like, I'm never going to find that person that I feel truly loves me for me, because I always had this idea that they're doing it out of pity, or because I'm just like an easy option that they would be able to get. Which is also not true, because I know my worth, and I would never really settle for less than what I'm worth. Although I have in the past, and we're learning, we're growing, we're evolving, and we're not doing that again. Again, on what I will be talking about. But I always had this idea that when I was young or growing up, that if anyone was to love me, it would be kind of a second choice or out of pity or easy option. So I never gave myself the chance mentally to actually feel like I could be in love with someone. And when I was a teenager, I dated around, and I had a lot of, not a lot of, I had some like flings and dates, and I explored, but I never really allowed myself to feel any deep connection with anyone, I guess. I never went deeper with anyone. I never got to know someone in a deep enough way that I would want to have a relationship with them. And then I kind of had this like mindset flip where I got so comfortable with being alone that I just felt like I didn't really need anyone. Like, and I feel like that's not a bad thing to have. Like, it's alright to. I feel like within a relationship, you shouldn't need that person to be yourself. They should just help. They should just bring the best out in you. They should be your supporter. They should be your cheerleader. They should be there to do life with you, but you should be able to do life by yourself without them as well. So I got to that point where I was like, okay, I'm fine being on my own. I don't really care to have that person with me right now, and I'm fine. And then I kind of thought, okay, let's just try, let's just see what it's like. There was to let that barrier down and just let someone in and give it a go. So that's what I did last year, and I found my girlfriend of last year, my ex, and I mean, it was lovely because I fell in love with someone, and I never thought that that was a possibility for me, and loved I loved having someone that was my person, that was there for me in a way that I didn't have anyone else there for me. And I just love being in love. I love that feeling of like that deep connection, that intimacy, the communication, the just the like intertwining of two people's lives. And although that didn't work out for many for many reasons, I think it actually opened my eyes that I was lovable and that I was deserving of love, and that just because I was disabled it didn't mean that I was harder to love or less deserving of love, or that I wasn't capable of falling in love, because I never really had that experience before. I never had the reciprocal love where we both felt the same way towards each other, and it was a very lovely feeling. And it's definitely one that I now miss, that now that I've had it, I miss having that connection of person. But having had that relationship last year, I feel like I've learned a lot since then. And I'm in this new era of life where there I definitely know now what I want and what I need in a person. And I've been thinking a lot about it because for those of you that haven't heard it, RAYE released a song last week called Where Is My Husband? And she basically wrote the song as like a manifestation to find her husband. And she had the top plan that she wants to get married within the next 2 to 4 years. And she just wants to find her husband. And she's basically wrote this song as a manifestation of finding that person and having that whole journey in her life. And I'm a very spiritual person. I love manifesting. I feel like once you speak something into existence, it's more likely to happen. And a lot of my life, I have manifested it. And I feel like once I speak it out into eternity, even just speaking it out loud, make me believe in what I'm saying and believe that's what I want. And I associate a level of like permanency and drive towards what I'm then manifesting towards. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely hate dating. I hate I hate everything about it. I hate dating apps because I feel like it's just such an inaccurate way of meeting people. People lie, people don't show their true intentions. People mostly want to just hook up these days. They don't want any longevity or permanency. And I'm a person that doesn't do. I'm not really in the hookup culture. I never have been. I'm a relationship person. I'm a person. I just like being with people. I'm not able to do the hookup thing. I just can't. I kind of wish that I could sometimes because I feel like it would be fun, but I just can't get my head around it, and it's not something that I've ever tried or been interested in. But that's why I find it really hard to date, because I feel like these days it's kind of more hookup culture, but I much prefer finding a relationship or even like something a bit more serious. So I find it hard with dating apps, and I also always struggle with having a disability, knowing how to navigate that online and knowing when to tell someone that you have a disability, how they're then going to react, whether they're going to accept it or not, how it's going to go. So I've always struggled with navigating it that way. I mean, I do like meeting people in person as well, but I'm also not a good that. I'm not good at making the first move. I'm quite shy, I'm quite reserved, and I feel like if we are in person, I'm if anything was to happen, it's more likely to be because I made the first move rather than the other way around. And I just don't have that confidence right now. But that's not to say that, like, in a few years or months, I might be. But I do think meeting people in person is more of a natural approach rather than online. Let me just wait for everyone to walk by my car. There's so many people around my car right now. It's actually crazy. Six men walking around my car. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I definitely prefer meeting people more naturally, but then also I'm not really in that environment to do so. Like, all I do is work, train, work at home, train, go to the gym. I don't really have anywhere where I'm gonna meet anyone new. So that's not currently an option. I am gonna try and get out there more to like more clubs and more experiences and more just like socializing, but then that's also like not really my bag. Like I'm a very shy person, so I don't know, I find it really awkward to do that. But I am gonna try because like where else am I gonna meet my future partner if I don't actually go out and do shit? So that is on my list to do. But I do think it's easier, especially with a disability, to meet people in person, and because then it's obvious. It's not like it's not something that I have to disclose or like. They can just ask me about it if they wanted to. It's a lot easier. So that might be on the list for this year at least. What else was I gonna say about dating? I don't know, but anyway, I was just thinking about what I would like in my next partner and what I'm manifesting for my next partner. I also, when I was younger, like when I was early teens, I saw a psychic, and the psychic told me that my second relationship is gonna be my like forever partner, and they're gonna be the partner that I have my children with and my future with. And although I've never really fully believed in what she said, I still am curious to see like how my next partner is gonna live up to that standard and whether they are gonna be my forever partner. I'm very curious. And I actually would like to see a psychic again to see whether they have the same premonitions. I think the last one that I saw was a gypsy, what are they called? Like mind reader? I don't know. She had a glass ball and she told me that she told me that there was a boy that really liked me and he was gonna come into my life within the next week and ask me out. And I was so like okay, like sure, yeah, sure. Did that happen? No, it did not. And was I happy that I didn't? Yeah, because I don't see the other thing is that I don't see myself marrying someone. I don't see myself marrying a man. I'm I'm optimistic maybe. I don't know. I just don't see it happening. I feel like I have more of an attraction to women, but I am bisexual, so I do have attraction to men. But when it comes to longevity and relationships, I just don't see myself with a man. And I feel like if I do end up with a man, it'd be like he'd be the 1% of the 99%. Does that even make sense? Like, in my brain, I'm currently like 90%, probably 95% for women and like 5% for men. So if I met a man that I actually felt like fully fell in love with, wanted to have children for, then he must be fucking amazing of a man because I feel like my mind is just so far from being with a man for long. So I don't know, but I'm not closed off to it. I'm not closed off to it. So if I do find that man, he honestly must be one of the best men that I met in this world, because I don't know, I don't have any hope when it comes to men. I think I see the red flags immediately and I just run. So I mean, I'm open. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. You never know. I might meet the perfect man tomorrow, so we shall see. But anyway, I wanted to write down my manifestations for my next relationship and put them out into the universe and share them with everyone, so that if I ever need to come back to this video and call myself out, or if you see me in person and you're like, Tegan, do you remember what you said in this video about your perfect person? And you see who you're with now and how they treat you, and you call me out, I'll be happy for that too, because sometimes when you get into a relationship, you have various colour glasses on and you can't see all of the blatant red flags going on around you. So if someone wants to hold the mirror up to me and be like, girl, you told yourself this, please do, because I don't want to go through what I went through again. So I'm going to write it in my notes up so that I don't forget, and so that it's always there when I am vetting people. Let's have a think. I'm also trying to do this really fast because I'm running out of sunlight and I'm trying to beat the natural clock, the natural cut now. But anyway, let's get into it. So, perfect partner material. I definitely want someone that shares similar humour to me, because I have quite dark humour, and I feel like if you don't understand it at times, it can be quite off-putting. And I don't know, the way that I joke with my family and with my friends, nothing is really too serious. And someone that takes everything seriously, I think would just be too much of a clash. So we definitely want someone that has humour and sarcasm, and that is just overly funny and like accepting of humour. So we're writing that down. I feel like the obvious ones are like kind and considerate and loyal. Those to me are the obvious. I don't want anyone that isn't those things, because I feel like that's to do with your morals and how you act and behave towards other people, but also towards yourself. I want someone that is able to be kind and honest and considerate to themselves as well as other people. Because I don't know, you gotta have some leeway to yourself as well, and not be overly harsh on yourself as well as other people. I don't know, I'm a very kind person, and I just don't like being around too many people that are the opposite. So, kind and considerate. I said 3 things and I can't remember the third already, but kind and considerate. I think I said loyal as well, didn't I? I said loyal, so we're going to write loyal. That's a must. The other one that I want to add is passionate. And that doesn't have to be about me, it can be about anything. I just like anyone that has a passion in life or aspiration, something that they love, like, I don't know, art, sports, cooking. I mean, I would love to marry someone that is a chef, because I don't cook. I don't like cooking. I find it really hard and stressful. So if anyone wants to cook for me and be my chef, as well as my husband and wife, then extra value points immediately. So, passionate. Okay, another thing that is really important to me is someone that is emotionally intelligent and also able to have deep conversations and kind of have that level of honesty without judgment. I like the idea of having serious conversations without any judgment around us. And I feel that you can, I don't know, I love people that can just sit and talk about anything. Nothing is off the table, nothing is off the cards. Let's just sit and have a conversation. We don't even have to agree on the outcome, but if we're able to sit and conversate about it and find a solution that works for us, I think that is such a powerful thing to be able to do. And I don't know, I'm a very emotional, intelligent person, but I'm also very like if I don't even know how to describe it, but especially in my last relationship, there wasn't that level of communication that I desire because I am a very emotional person in the sense that I understand what I'm feeling, I understand what I want, I understand what I need. And if you're with a person that doesn't know that level of emotional intelligence as well, it's quite hard to navigate. And I found a lot of the time that I was shutting down what I felt because of how they would react or how they would then feel, or I would know how they would feel, but they wouldn't know how they would feel, and then they'd be angry at me because I knew what was going on in their head, but they couldn't say it. And I want someone that is on the same level of emotional intelligence as me, because, or even someone that is willing to grow and deepen their emotional intelligence, whether that's by themselves or together. Just someone that is able to unlock that part in their brain to want to go deeper and want to understand and want to connect in that level of intimacy within each other's feelings. It's very important to me. So, writing that down, emotional intelligence and communication skills. I also say that like within communication skills, probably sharing a similar way of communicating because I'm quite a needy person. I like to feel needed, but I also like to be needed by a person. And although we can have our individual lives and we can get on without each other, I like the feeling that someone is thinking about me or like wants to have that conversation, want to catch up and chat and tell me about their day. I love it. I just love hearing how people's day went and like having that level of communication. And again, something that I didn't get last time, but we're not salty about it. We're moving on. So something that we'll find for the next one. But yeah, definitely a more similar way of communicating and communication style is what we're looking for. Definitely someone that is family orientated because I'm very close with my family and my mum. My mum, yeah, definitely someone that is family orientated and close with their family, or if not even with their biological family, but with their family that they have made or chosen for themselves. I just like someone that also has other connections within their personal life that they love and cherish. And I feel like when the people are very close with their family and friends, it shows you can see how their person, how their like core values are within them almost. Like when you see them interact with their family, that's who they truly are within themselves. And I'm very close with my family, so I always want someone that is going to be able to be close with my family as I am with theirs. So definitely family orientated is on the list. What else should I add? I feel like there's so many things that I could add, but then like also thinking about it, I don't know. I definitely want someone that is able to be a cheerleader in the sense that they don't always have to be there. They don't always have to show up physically, but they have to show up within the relationship for each other. Like, I want someone that supports me and I support them, and we cheerlead each other for our successes and for our trials and tribulations and challenges, and we're just very supportive of each other, which I think is a good thing to have, especially especially in your 20s. I think your 20s is like a big roller coaster of opportunities and emotions and life, and you need someone that is able to words. You need someone that is able to support you through the ups and downs within life. So I definitely want someone that is going to be able to do that and also just enjoy the ride with me, because I'm very aware that like life is very up and down, and even within myself, my moods, as you can probably see over the last few weeks, have been very up and down, and just someone that is able to understand that life isn't smooth sailing. You're gonna have these ups and downs, and to not be afraid of them and not to be scared of them either. Just like be there for the ride and help each other navigate those ups and downs is something that I would like in my life. So I'm gonna put supporter and cheerleader. Supporter and cheerleader. Let's say honest. I definitely want someone that is honest, because that my camera ran out of space, but I'm back. But I think I was saying that I'd rather someone that is able to be honest with me brutally, and I feel like you can still be honest, but you can be kind and considerate with honesty, and especially with things like, even I feel like honesty can come in a multitude of ways. It can come within the way that you communicate. It can be in the style of your relationships, in like how you navigate life together. I just feel like there should be a level of communication where honesty is appreciated, and just you're able to be honest with each other without any judgment. And that's just what I think. I know a lot of people may think that it's okay to like protect your partner's feelings because you know that what you might be thinking might upset them. And I think there's a level that you should do that, but then like if you're being dishonest to yourself, then that's only gonna affect the relationship in a worse way. So I think you should always be honest within communication and within your journey within a relationship, because that's how you're then going to be able to succeed. And one thing that I tried to introduce into my last relationship was that I saw a couple that basically had a code word for any time that they wanted to be honest with each other and have an honest conversation. And I think their word was like penguin, and they would just sit and say penguin and then say whatever was on their mind, and they were able to have an honest conversation and talk it through and find out a resolution, or maybe not even a resolution, but just get it off their chest, and the other person would be able to receive the information, and they would then just feel accepted and heard, that they were able to get that off their chest. And I just really love honesty, and even to a point where I might not be honest with myself all the time. I might put blinders on, but then I feel like having a person that you're able to be honest with is very comforting, because then you're able to get things that are on your mind off your mind, and it's just a much calmer, safer environment to be in. And then you don't end up so stressed in your head. And some people really like that way of communicating, and some people don't. And I totally get that, to be honest. It's I don't know, it's something that you kind of need to try, and your partner has to be of a similar mindset to you and how you communicate and how you receive and give honesty. But I really like that way of communicating and being in a relationship. And to me, I'd much rather someone be brutally honest than for me to be lied to. And feel humiliated later on. So honesty is something that is really important to me as well. I mean, I feel like there's so many things that I could add to the list, but I feel like I don't want to write. I don't want my list to be too long that it's unachievable, but I also want my list to be a good reflection of what I truly want in a person and what I need in a person. And one thing that I actually really love was I watched a film on Netflix. I can't remember what it was called, but there was this idea that you're meant to ask 4 questions to know that you're in a good relationship. And I don't even remember all of them, but I remember the question, does your partner bring out the best in you? Or like something, does your partner support you to be your best self? And I just really like that question because I feel like your partner should be the one that encourages you to get out of your comfort zone, to be a bit more bold, to support your choices and push boundaries. So I like that question. So I'm also gonna add that question to my list. Does your partner does your partner encourage you to be your best self? I'm gonna say it out loud so that I don't have to write it. Does your partner encourage you to be your best self? Okay, it's added. Is there anything else? I think I try not to overthink the actual looks of my next partner or even the gender of my partner. I kind of am very open to people that I am attracted to. I think that's the only thing that I don't really have a type. I just have to be attracted to you, and that's kind of my type, I guess. I just have to feel like you're hot and sexy, and then that's fine. But I didn't feel like I need to add that to my list. I just need to add, maybe I'll add that I find you attractive, because that's a good thing to add, right? I gotta be attracted to my next partner. Surely. Attractive. And you know what? I should add attractive physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Because why not? They have to tick all the boxes. But yeah, I think I know that once I end this video or end this podcast, I'll probably think of more things that I want to add. So I will update you in a few weeks maybe or a few months on how my list is going and how my dating life is going. And I don't know, I'm going to try and go on a few dates and see how I feel. Because I haven't really done anything this year. I've been detaching from certain people. So I haven't allowed myself to go out there and go on a few dates. So that might be on the cards. But for now, I'm going to leave the list as it is, and I will let you know if I add anything else. And yeah, I hope that if you are in the same boat as me and you're wanting to go out dating and you're wanting to find that person, then why not write a list and just have a list of your absolute must, have a list of what you want and what you need from a person. I feel like once you write it down or say it out into the universe, again, it makes it more permanent in your brain and you make less choices to settle for less. And that's not what we're doing this year. We're not settling for less. We are getting exactly what we need and more. So speak it out into the universe and don't allow your bad bitch self settle for less. It's not happening. Not again. So let me know how you also get on with your list of needs and wants for that future partner. And I shall see you guys next week for another video. Do you know what? I actually feel like I should. I was talking to my friend about this the other day that I really want to go on like a speed dating thing. Or even, like, I was saying to my friend, you know, the show Married at First Sight? I never actually wanted to ever do it, but I actually feel like it'd be fun. It'd be entertaining. It's Married at First Sight. You know the one that's in the pods, and they talk to each other through a wall, and they get to know each other that way? I feel like I would love that. I feel like if that was, like, an opportunity that I could do without getting married and just, like, do it to date people blind, then I would actually love that. So, if that is an opportunity, someone sign me up. I'm interested to see whether that's an actual thing, because it's also just, like, a big experiment, but it looks really fun, so I don't know. I'd be interested, but for now, I'm gonna stick to the dating apps, and I'm gonna continue to manifest. I'm gonna listen to RAYE, I'm gonna listen to a bit of Isabel La Rosa. Is that her name? I think it is. I'm also seeing her next month. Lovely. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week for another video. Same place. Probably not the same time, but I will try. And have a good rest of your week. Enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, enjoy your morning, whatever you're watching this, enjoy. And I'll see you for another video. If you want to see more of me, then head over to my TikTok, because that is honestly where I'm most entertaining, is over there. Because I have no filter over there, like none. My Instagram is getting there, but I'm a bit more professional over there. So if you want to see the chaos that goes on in my mind, head over to TikTok, because that's where it's at. And I'll see you guys next week. Time for me to go to bed. Well, not yet. I'm gonna have a Dr. Pepper first. Oh, look at me, I just can't say bye to you guys today. I'm enjoying your company. Oh, I also did my makeup differently today, because I'm trialing for a certain TV show that I'm gonna be on. And I'll talk more about that next week, I think. But what do you think? Is it cute? I think it's cute. Okay. See you next week, guys. Ah! See you next week.